This company is buying back shares like crazy.
It's a rare find in speculative plays, but insiders are buying these three tech stocks.
When you have insiders buying, that could be a real sign that there's something here that you should look for.
MarketBeat's Thomas Hughes breaks down the details of these three tech plays for June.
It certainly is an interesting business and one that I think that could make money for someone over time.
But investors beware. Insider buying might not be enough to sway you to these three little-known names.
Just because we think it's a speculative play doesn't mean that today or right now is the right time to buy it.
Will these three stocks make it on your summer watch list? Let's dive in. Thomas, so great to have you back on the channel today, talking about three small tech stocks that insiders are buying like crazy this June. Excited to get to your list in a minute, but first I want to talk about just the tech sector in general. There seems to be a lot of momentum this June and really heading into the summer for a lot of the tech sector.
Well, right. The tech sector has been strong and leading the market for years and decades. It's just the largest growth sector. It produces the most results, help businesses expand. Right now, that's been amplified by AI. AI is the driving force in tech right now, and it really is the underlying unifying factor for many stocks that are performing well today. If they're able to use and monetize AI or have an outlook where they can monetize AI and really put it to use.
Yeah, if you're a subscriber to this channel, you have definitely seen us cover many AI stories, from the big names to the small names. And this list you have for us today are more of those smaller speculative plays. I feel like we're seeing a lot of new players coming into this AI race and entering into the market. Talk about what investors should keep in mind as they're looking at some of these more new and speculative tech or AI plays.
Well, you really want to look for a total package, not just one factor, but it should be a good company with good management, should have a product or a service that provides utility. Hopefully, they're making revenue and at least has an outlook for profits, some analysts and market support. And that's really what the focus of this article was about. Small and mid cap tech stocks, especially, you're not going to see insiders really buying because these companies tend to use a lot of share-based compensation. So in general, insiders tend to sell more often than to buy. So when you have insiders buying, that could be a real sign that there's something here that you should look for.
Insider buying is one strong signal. Another is institutional buying. If you're looking for a list of stocks that institutions are buying heavily right now, check out this free premium article that's just for our YouTube viewers right now. It's all about institutional investors and the 5 stocks they couldn't resist in Q1 of this year. You can scan the QR code now or click the link in the description of this video to get that free article right now on marketbeat.com. But this list today is all about the insiders, 3 tech stocks, all smaller speculative plays that also have a lot of insider support, and that is a strong signal for investors to pay attention. Let's get to that first stock on your list, Thomas.
Right, that's Science Applications International. Now, this is a pretty interesting story, and the most recent earnings release really highlights the value and the opportunity here. So Science Applications International is an IT services provider for the government. They help the government modernize and design and deploy and to train and operate its technology, including now today AI. So back in November, when Donald Trump was elected, the share price imploded because there was a lot of cloudiness automatically introduced into the outlook for government spending and how it was going to affect this company's revenue. So there was a lot of clouds introduced into the outlook. The market has been moving sideways since then because this latest report has affirmed and clarified the outlook. It's really showed that the impact of Donald Trump's policies, especially DOGE, has been very minimal. It also reveals some accelerating contract wins, which shows that the government's lean into modernization, which, reduce the workforce, use technology, kind of goes hand in hand, is bolstering the outlook. And so with this company, we see not only insiders buying, but this reversal in sentiment causing a rapid or could cause a rapid market meltdown.
A very interesting point about the Donald Trump factor and government cutbacks impacting the stock, but we've really seen the opposite, especially when it comes to defense spending in the government right now. There seems to be a positive trend toward more investment in that area, and this tech stock feels like it would fit that bill pretty well.
It totally does. In the guidance, in the commentary, in the conference call, the CEO was talking about the impacts of Doge and Donald Trump and plans for government spending. He quantified the impacts of Doge at about 1%. That's not really a huge number, offset by accelerating contract wins. As far as the guidance goes in government spendings, the budget proposals for next year, the plans to increase defense spending by 10, 12% aligns with the company's growth projections. So what I see here is a situation in which some cloudiness induced some fear. The market sold off. Fears were completely unfounded. Now we have clarity, we have growth, we have cash flow, which is really important with this one. This company is buying back shares like crazy. And that's really within all that I was learning and talking about with this company, with the stock, was the buybacks. It's reducing its count by a high single digit pace, and it's going to sustain that pace. I mean, that's a lot of leverage for investors.
Yeah, it's a really good sign for sure. I'm wondering what analysts are saying about the future of this stock and taking a look at the chart too of more of the price action on this stock.
The analyst's response to the news was a little bit mixed. There were some price target reductions and some increases, but the net result is really bullish. What we're seeing here is sentiment is consolidating around a range where the consensus sentiment is looking for about a 20% upside, and that looks pretty firm right now.
Right, very good, Thomas. Let's move on to the second tech stock on your list.
Yeah, the second one is On24. This is a microcap stock. This is a much smaller company, but they've got an interesting business. They provide an online engagement platform for businesses. So what that means is if a business wants to produce or put on some kind of an online digital exhibit, presentation, they can use this platform to do so, but it's an intelligent platform. So it's going to monitor and track the data from the people that are watching it, provide a personalized experience for them that includes marketing for the business that's doing the presentation. So very interesting, also powered by AI. So there has a lot of potential to be a good business. Right now, the revenue has been declining. Its results don't look good. That's to be very honest, don't look good, but there's potential for a bottom. The company's been working on a turnaround, plan. There is some traction being gained. The outlook could be improving along with some insider buying. There's also a new buyback was announced that shows some confidence by the board, some confidence by the company that the turnaround is gaining traction, that cash flow is pretty solid. So again, a speculative play, one that could rise, but one that needs to be monitored, paid attention to. You're not going to want to put too much money onto this one too fast.
That's some solid advice for a company like this. I feel like specifically in the field that this one's in, there's a lot of competition out there. There's some much bigger names doing something similar. Is there a possibility that a company like this could just fold altogether if it doesn't get that profit and success that it's looking for?
It absolutely could. But what I see with this one is potential takeover target. There are companies, I mean, customer engagement management, customer retention management are very big businesses. They're growing. I mean, Salesforce is the largest one. It's growing at a sustained double-digit pace. I see this company as a attractive target for somebody like them. Maybe not Salesforce, but another one of the smaller engagement platforms may want to add this to their portfolio. It certainly is an interesting business and one that I think that could make money for someone over time.
Yeah. Any other advice for investors if you're looking at a really speculative play like this, where you're looking at a bottom, looking at not great financials, but potential to do well and that insider buying factor too?
Well, right, you're going to want to put it on your watch list. I mean, just because we think it's a speculative play doesn't mean that today or right now is the right time to buy it. There are some potential factors to drive it higher, but we're going to want to see those things start to emerge in the news cycle and in the stock's price.
Solid advice for this play. Thank you, Thomas, for that one. Let's move on to the final stock on your list of three speculative tech stocks that insiders are buying right now.
Right. This one is Asana, and they operate a digital cloud-based platform for workflow management. Its business is growing and it's transitioning to profits. That is a tailwind for the market. One of the hurdles for this to the market right now is that the most recently reported results were pretty strong, outperformed, but the guidance didn't really spark bullish analyst sentiment. The analysts are bullish on this stock. The net result of the revision since the last report is positive. They're looking for upside in this market, but without some more catalyst to happen, they could present a headwind for the stock price. So we're going to want to put it on the watch list and keep an eye on it, and kind of track it over time and see what happens.
It's good to know analysts are interested in this company. Let's talk a little bit more about what it does and maybe how it differentiates from some of the competition out there.
Well, right. So it's a platform for workflow management. This is a cloud-based platform, AI enabled, to help automate and to increase efficiency for workflow projects. So Asana tries to differentiate itself by offering or by focusing on scalability, a user-friendly interface, and reliability. So many problems with AI today is that they can be unreliable. I mean, the biggest risk with using ChatGTP is that it will give you the wrong information. So that is one of the things that Asana is really focusing on is reliability. I think that sets it apart. I think it also makes it another candidate for a takeover. Plenty of companies today are engaged with automation, workflow management, AI enhancement of business efficiency. So yeah, this is definitely a takeover target.
Let's talk about the price action on this stock too. If you are wanting to invest in this one, it's a pretty low entry point.
Yeah, right. The market sold off earlier this year, put in a bottom, it moved higher. It was poised to move higher before this release, but it's pulling back now. To me, this looks like a buying opportunity in this stock. Again, though, put it on the watch list. Keep an eye on it. When we start seeing some traction in the market, positive news events in the news cycle, it'll be time to start nibbling on it and then to begin begin building a position.
Yeah, for this company and the other two companies on this list of speculative plays, what can investors expect? It feels like all of these might have the potential for more volatility.
Volatility is definitely the name of the game. With small caps, with speculative plays, there's going to be a lot of factors involved. Short sellers are certainly interested in these stocks. They're part of why the stock prices are presenting these opportunities, but also provided that forward results, the news cycle progresses as we think that it will, they also present opportunity for short squeezes and short covering rallies that could help amplify the results when the turnarounds really start to gain traction.
A last question for you on this list is how much weight do you put into insider buying? That's why this list was put together. All three of these companies have that in common with insiders buying and doing some stock buybacks too. How important is that to you as a signal of whether or not to invest in a stock?
Well, like all of the signals I track by itself, it's not good enough. It is a way to go and find stocks. Insider buying is the first thing that you see, and then you go and you follow that lead and see where it takes you. And if you find other things that are interesting and bullish and support an outlook for higher prices, then it's good for the watch list. If the news cycle unfolds as you want it to, then it can become a viable stock.
As to where to find these insider buy stocks, I know MarketBeat has some great tools. You use them a lot when you're looking for articles to write. Walk us through how you can find where insiders are buying right now.
Well, right. There's really two ways to find insider trading data on MarketBeat that I use on a regular basis. One is on the main homepage. There's the market data page. It's got lots of links to different kinds of market data. And one of those sections includes different types of insider buying screens, but also on the individual stock pages, they will list a tab that you can go and follow that will show you all the insider buys for that one particular stock. So you can use the main market data page to find a list of stocks, to do some screens to find stocks that are interesting. Or if you're looking at a stock for some other reason, you can also check the insider buying on that stocks page.
All right, some great information and tips for investors if you want to look into your own insider buying picks out there. Thanks for this list today, Thomas, and thank you for watching. Let us know what you think about these speculative plays, or if you have some of your own names to add to the list. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you follow along.
Mhm.
Thanks for watching, and as always, happy investing.